So again, welcome to the Bobby Hutton Political Education course. Each week, students will be assigned readings and videos to study and will convene once a week to discuss the material, interpret and break down the core concepts, questions, and answers, and to prepare for next week's study materials. Remember that taking notes can be really beneficial, even audio ones. And don't be afraid to ask for help. We are all in this together. Each week, you are encouraged to bring the following: quotes from the material, questions you have, your interpretations of the material, core concepts, revolutionary spirit. The first duty of a revolutionary is to be educated. To be a Panther, we must understand: one, our history; two, our political line; three, strategies to overthrow our oppressors. Upon completion of the political education program, graduates will become members of the UPM, receive recognition, and be encouraged to begin organizing in their local communities. I'll be playing this quick little video of Huey P. Newton.
I plan to go on with our expansion and also to make even a stronger tie with the struggling people of the world, because they represent 2/3 of the people. The colonized world, or the developing countries, are also the colored world, and American imperialism is implicated in all of those puppet governments that control these developing countries. In other words, if America withdraws its support from Greece, that Greek regime will fall. If America withdraws its support from the puppet government of South Vietnam, the Vietnamese war would end. So what I'm saying is we have to hook up internationally. You can only understand the situation internationally, and in order to do this, that we are going to commit troops. We're going to commit troops to the Vietnamese people, the National Liberation Front, to fight the cowardly American aggressor. The Black Panther Party. That's right.
Now, when are you going to do that?
I'm going to do this as soon as I'm released. That I'm going to make this known at the Paris peace talks, so that it can be accepted or rejected by the Vietnamese people. But in the spirit of internationalism and the spirit of international solidarity, we plan to do this, and we would do this for any people who are fighting against American imperialism.
You want to get together blacks to go to Vietnam and fight against American troops?
We want to get revolutionary people to go to Vietnam. I hope some weathermen go also. As far as the party, we don't think in terms really of black and white. We only think of that when we try to analyze American society, which is a racist society. But we're internationalists, we're anti-racist, we're not even a national chauvinist. As I say, we're internationalists in every sense of the word. Here, our party is composed of blacks simply because of the reality, the cultural reality in the country. I think that if things don't change drastically, it will be bloodshed.
What part of the Panthers going to have in that?
Well, the Black Panther Party is a force for justice in the name of peace. And we realize that we're shedding blood now. We're being killed, that either by the vicious service revolver of the occupying army, which is the police, who's directed by the avaricious businessman, the lying politician, or we're being killed through the lack of medical care, lack of funds because of unemployment. We're being killed because of lack of nutrition. So violence can take many forms. I call that violence when our kids are born and they're born with organic brain damages because of the malnutrition of the mother, you see, for economic reasons. The country is much too rich for that kind of thing. The country is too rich. The country is supposed to be too civilized. We've analyzed this society, and we've come up with the best solution of any organization or party. And I think that it's clear that in order for the people to be free in this country, the oppressed people in general, and black people in particular, we would have to have a socialist society, a proportional representation, and a socialist framework. What I mean by this, the civil rights movement is dead. That white people in 1776 broke away from England. and they broke away because of taxation without representation, and also it was a war of decolonialization. And what they instituted was democratic capitalism. I think capitalism at that time was progressive. The civil rights movement is no more than a continuation of the American Revolution that took place in 1776. But this time, the blacks were trying to get those same rights, that the whites got then. But the only difficulty you have there is that the same conditions no longer exist because the dialectics have changed. You no longer have democratic capitalism, you have monopolistic capitalism. Good analogy would be it's like old wine. You see, the longer it sits, the stronger it gets. And the party is becoming a greater influence. It's transformed itself from a national party to an international party with headquarters in about 6 or 7 branches in about 6 or 7 countries. That we're in practically every state in the union, and we're very influential.
Has your philosophy, your outlook on life changed at all?
No, as I said, I've become stronger. When I used to go to church as a child, the preacher used to say suffering is good for the soul. And I never understood that. But now I think I understand it. Whether I'm there or not, the fight will go on. One man never makes a revolution, nor one weapon never defeats a revolution. The people always win wars, and people write world history, make world history, that is, and they transform the planet Earth. We're being murdered over and over again, and the murders of the party members and of blacks in general supersedes that of the New Left. But the murders of the New Left is escalating. Because, as I said, a line of demarcation is being drawn. I think that this fight will sharpen as time goes, not only on a national level, but on an international level. I don't believe this country will be able, in spite of its great power, I don't believe it will be able to fight every country in the world and also fight a revolutionary war at home. That's what we're really banking on.
You say the Panthers will mount an offensive in Vietnam.
We will commit an undisclosed number of troops to the National Liberation Front.
Well, specifically, how do you go about that?
Well, when I get out, I'll probably make an executive mandate and or proclamation, have it delivered to the Paris peace talks, introduced there, and also a copy sent to the provisional government of South Vietnam National Liberation Front, and just simply offer the troops in the name in the spirit of solidarity, and then it'll be up to the people of the country, the National Liberation Front, to accept or reject. We realize we have problems here, domestic problems, and we're fighting a revolution in this country, but we must always hook up and have solidarity with people of the world. We realize also that America, the American aggressor, is having all sort of problems home, but still he's messing with other people's business abroad. If he can do it, then we can do it also.
This video was almost decades ago, more than a couple decades ago. I just think the message still stands strong. The revolution will always continue. People will still put in the work. Is Comrade Rodrigo here?
Says he's in a class, but he's probably still muted.
Okay, I just wanted to, I know Comrade Rodrigo usually helps Chairman Africa too. So if he wants to ever chime in, or if anyone ever wants to chime in, raise your hand or just unmute. But we'll continue.
Good evening, Captain Patience. I just logged on. I logged on a while ago, but I wasn't able to. I was lagging for a minute, but yeah, I heard your message. I'll go in and we'll go through this.
All right, thank you. Okay, so this week, our study will focus on the concept of vanguardism, the documentary Black Panthers, Vanguard of the Revolution, and the story of the Black Panther Party. So what is a vanguard? Vanguardism in the context of Leninist revolutionary struggle relates to a strategy whereby the most class-conscious and politically advanced sections of the proletariat or working class, described as a revolutionary vanguard, form organizations. They take actions to draw larger sections of the working class toward revolutionary politics and to serve as manifestations of proletarian political power opposed to the bourgeoisie. In its first phase, the Vanguard Party would exist for two reasons. Firstly, it would protect Marxism from outside the corruption from other ideas, as well as advance its concepts. Secondly, it would educate the proletariat in Marxism in order to cleanse them of their false individual consciousness and instill the revolutionary class consciousness in them. Our task is not to champion the degradation of the revolutionary to the level of an amateur, but to raise the amateurs to the level of revolutionaries. According to Lenin, the purpose of the Vanguard Party is to establish a dictatorship of the proletariat, a rule of the working class. The change of the ruling class from the bourgeoisie to the proletariat makes possible the full development of socialism. So right now we'll watch this video of Fred Hampton on revolution.
Nah, let me say something first.
Okay.
You heard me? You heard me, Captain?
Yeah, you can go ahead. You're muted.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, nah, it's my phone. It's me. I had the volume down. No, when we talking about vanguardism, no, because this is one of the questions that's going to be on the test. So if you're here and you're preparing to take the test, like I really need you to understand what vanguardism is. Most people think all the slaves like just got up one day and they just started revolting, and that's how they got free, whatever. Then they had the Civil War, and then they got free. It doesn't work that way. People got to organize the people to get them prepared for them to revolt or do anything. You got to have people that strategize, people that think of how we're going to do this, people that are there that educate the community, to educate the people through the struggle. You have to have a group of people that are there willing to do this work. And that's what vanguardism is. Like everybody think during the civil rights movement, everybody was part of the Black Panther Party. Everybody was rolling with Malcolm X. Everybody was rolling with Dr. King. But really, in truth, the majority of people are always worried. They're worried about their job. They're worried about taking care of their families. They're too busy to get in trouble. They don't want to get in trouble. They want to keep their heads down and move. That's how society works. It's only a small percentage of people that go to political education classes to understand why they're doing what they're doing, and they dedicate their lives to the struggle. It's only a small group of people that do that, and those people are called the vanguard. That's what I was trying to explain to you. The vanguard are the people in the community that organize the community. I mean, that stays vigilant and work to bring about what is needed in the community to sustain the people. That's it.
I was gonna ask, so would you say the Vanguard is more educated than the proletariat? Like, is there a level to, do you understand like the question I'm trying to ask?
Nah, that's a good question. The vanguard is more educated because you got to know. You can't lead people if you don't know. The vanguard understand the situation. They understand the time of day. They understand why people are getting thrown into the streets. They understand it's not because they're black. It's not because they're white. It's not because they're gay. It's not because they're a man, they're a woman. They understand that imperialism, that the landlords are making deals with politicians to legally throw them out of their homes. I mean, well, it's illegal, but they make it legal. The politicians make it legal. And they understand that. And they let the people know. They let the people know, like, going to go vote, going to go march, to go beg these people to give you a place to stay, to shelter you. That's not how we're going to do this. That's not how it's done. The only we do it is us coming together, pulling our resources together to build institutions to serve us. So, yeah, the vanguard are usually those more educated and those that understand, that know. And those that know, it's always their responsibility to take care of those that don't.
So the vanguard is basically the teachers of the community.
Yeah. The teachers, they protect us. They're on the pig patrols. The Panthers used to. We're gonna go over that in the slides. But the pig patrol, like going out, watching the police, making sure the police not beating people, shooting people, killing people, all of that. Like they're just not. I mean, they're all of that. But yeah, you're right, brother.
Never to say that the vanguard solely have to be of a certain class or a certain type of educated people, because if we've seen in history, individuals like Huey P. Newton and Chacha Jimenez come from working class backgrounds and were able to rise up to the vanguard status by studying most of the time, and some of them in prison in case of Chacha. So they could be a gang, or then they become a former gang that became political and became part of the vanguard as well.
All power to the people.
All power. So I'll start the video now.
I'm the deputy chairman of the state of Illinois Black Panther Party, Fred Hampton. And a lot of people don't understand the Black Panther Party's relationship with white mother country radicals. A lot of people don't even understand that word that they're used a lot. But what we're saying is that there are white people in the mother country that are for the same type of things that we are for stimulating revolution in the mother country. And we said that we'll work with anybody and form coalition with anybody that has revolution on their mind. We're not a racist organization because we understand that racism is an excuse used for capitalism. And we know that racism is a byproduct of capitalism. Everything would be all right if everything was put back in the hands of the people. And we're going to have to put it back in the hands of the people. Everybody in the state of Illinois is going to have to be involved or even around the revolution because we're going to have one. We're going to have to do more than talk. We're going to have to do more than listen. We're going to even have to do more than learn. We're going to have to start practicing, and that's very hard. We got to start learning, and you learn through practice. We got to start making mistakes, and you learn through making mistakes. We got to start getting out there with the people. And a lot of times we think we're better than the people. That's an insult, and that's criminal. Think you're better than the people. We got to get together and learn where it's at. It's going to take a lot of hard work. Education for children is something else. You ought to dig on it. Every sister in this audience. Every sister in this audience ought to get yourselves together and come on down and help with that Breakfast for Children program. You ought to come down and help feed them children in the morning. Because we teach the people. People can't be fed free. That's people saying. Socialism is the people. You're afraid of yourself. If you're afraid of socialism, you're afraid of yourself. We know they have our pictures. We know they're looking for us. We know they want us. We're still saying that even though we could be in a sense, as far as this system goes, on the mountaintop, we in the Black Panther Party, because of our dedication and understanding what's in the valley, knowing that the people in the valley, knowing that we originally came from the valley, knowing that our flag is the same flag as the people in the valley, knowing that our enemy is on the mountaintop, our friends are in the valley. We say even though it's nice to be on the mountaintop, we're going back to the valley. In the office every day. I'll be in the streets propagandizing every day. I'll be working with everybody every day. I'll be teaching that solidarity is the thing. The end of a complete wipeout of imperialism is the thing. So if you're going to be thinking about me, that's what Bobby will be teaching. If you're going to be thinking about us, what we say is ain't no thing about going nowhere, getting killed. All we want to know is that you're doing what we'd be doing if we were here. And you got to do that. You can't do it unless you believe that you can do it. In the city, generation, we understand that they want everybody in the party in jail. And we know that if you try to figure out and separate and decide who should go and who shouldn't go, we spend more time doing that than working for the people. So the quick solution Nobody goes. Nobody goes. Stay right here. With the people. Because we love the people. Okay, you put your hands down now. We say all power to all people. We say white power to white people. White power. Brown power to brown people. Yellow power to yellow people. Black power to black people. X power for blues that we left out. We say Panther power to Vanguard Party. When you leave here, saying the last word before you go to bed tonight, say I am a revolutionary. Make that the last word. In case you don't wake up, then somebody might believe it and you might, end up in what they call it, revolutionary happy hunting ground. Say that. I am a revolutionary. Say it when you're going out. Everybody want to leave to me. Okay, we're gonna say it while we're going out. Hey, we're gonna find a thing called free friend. Don't that sound nice? Hey, let's do that. Free friend. Free friend. Free friend. Hey, I ain't even there yet.
All power to the people. Serve the people survival programs. Panther survival programs included free breakfast for children, free food for families, free health clinics, free sickle cell testing, community police patrols, people's free ambulance, and many more. You heard Fred Hampton talking about the breakfast program. These different programs that they had in the community to serve the community for free. That's what the Vanguard do. The Vanguard understands the circumstances that the community is dealing with. Understand what's going on. Understand that the people are suffering from gentrification. They're suffering from high rents. They're suffering from lack of food. They're suffering from all these different things. They're suffering from education. Yo, the duty of the Vanguard Party, the people that say they're in the community to serve the people, to protect the people, yo, it is their duty to come up with these programs to serve the community, not ask them for money. You can't be coming in there to come lead the people and then you're asking them to pay for it. They don't have it. If they had it, they wouldn't need you. I mean, so really, it's a sacrifice. This work is sacrifice. It's not for everybody. So when you see people out there, you see them flashy with the money that they got them on at their awards ceremonies. They got them doing commercials. I'm talking about imperialism. These people are not really activists. They're not revolutionaries. Revolutionaries don't get paid by imperialists. That's not how it works. Free breakfast for children program, party members set up. We involve as many of the community members as we can. That's Bobby Seale. We were showing love. Bobby Seale is one of the original founders of the party. They're talking about what they were doing down there. This is part of the documentary. We took excerpts from it. I meant to put it in here to give you a little bit of brief understanding of what they were doing then in their time in the 60s and 70s. We were showing love for our people in our community. David Lemieux, Black Panther Party. The free breakfast for children program served about 20,000 meals per week to young people in 19 communities. It wasn't a fly-by-night thing. It really actually was making a difference. Beverly Gage, historian. Like we doing it here. We have the different programs that we, as Panthers, as New African Black Panther Parties in Newark, Black Panther Party in Newark, New Jersey. We have programs here that serve the community here. But this, you see how they say 19 communities? Yo, the podcast, everything that we do, trying to bring people in, is so we could have these communities, not just in Newark, but other communities around the country, around the globe that are doing the same thing. And then we all work together, we all link up, and we're all connected. So nobody's alone. That's called intercommunalism. We're working from community to community. We're all working together to meet the same goal. People would never be able to see or talk in person, could get their hands on the paper. It was very important. Hold on, wait, did I miss something here? What paper they talk about? The free breakfast for children program save 20 meals. Oh, okay, my bad. The Black Panther paper. You see, like today we got social media. Today we on TikTok, we on Instagram, we on Facebook, we on YouTube, we on all these different spaces. I know people just use it up there to just put pictures up there, trying to catfish people, like they're on there just like gossiping. But we gotta enter all these spaces to reach people, to find the people that are willing to do this work. So you have to put it everywhere. Back then, they had the Black Panther paper. They had the paper that they used to get printed up and they used to go out into the community to pass it out so people could get the information. Just like we talking now, we having these political education classes on Zoom online. You could use your phone, you could be on the computer. It wasn't like that back then. Back then, they had to have the political education classes in person. I mean, it was harder. Their work was harder. You had to bring the people together in the community in one place to be able to have this discussion. But today, like we got a little bit easier. Everybody could be wherever they're at, and we can have this conversation. But the whole point of the paper was to spread the message, to get the message out there, and that's what our social media platforms are for. Every social media platform that we are on, this is what we're pushing. We're pushing this ideology. People would never be we never be able to see or talk to in person could get their hands on the paper on our social media pages. It was very important to get the paper out. The paper contained the 10-point platform, illustrations, said who the party was, what they were about, what they hoped to achieve, etc. Same thing we do on our social media pages. It cost 12 cents to print the paper, and they sold it for a quarter. All you gotta do is get Wi-Fi. They load boxes on bundles or bundle papers in the assembly line while singing. This was some of the illustrations that they had back then. I mean, to try to get their message out. This one said, "In revolution, one wins or one dies." This one right here with the pig. What is a pig? A low-natured beast that has no regard for law, justice, or the rights of people. A creature that bites the hand that feeds it. A foul, depraved traducer, usually found masquerading as the victim of an unprovoked attack. That's a pig. That's a cop that they're talking about. I have stood by too long while the racist pigs brutalized and murdered my people. The blood of the pig must flow in the streets. So like in the in the test, we may ask you like, what did the Black Panthers Party do to try to get the message out? See, because this is not about trick. We're not trying to trick you. All of this is teaching you how the work is done, how you get your message out. Back then, they had the paper. Today, we have social media where you can reach people around the world. This last one. All the weapons we use against each other, we now use against the oppressor. In Oakland, being Black means that you don't feel the same feelings of safety as white people. Black men are treated just as poorly in California as in Mississippi. Police drew guns and used excessive force regularly. To say the least, police relations were not good in Oakland. Like we go now. It don't matter who you are, who they got on the media, on TV, everywhere that ICE is chasing. They really got people like Hispanic people, Spanish people. That's what they really have on there as the face of immigration. All of this stuff is purposeful. They know what they're doing. It's racism coded. I mean,
Chairman, I just want to make a comment. Since we're talking about the pigs, so last night Trump held up this little Black boy, cancer survivor, and made him like a federal agent in name or whatever. So the whole thing on social media is like, oh, the Democrats can't even be happy for this little boy, this cancer survivor. And I'm like, why would anybody be happy that this little boy, they're grooming him to be a pig? But that's another failure on in their attempt to come back at Trump. They're just making the whole situation worse for themselves.
Because they're reactionary. They really have no strategy. They have no way to deal with him because he is dumb. We use the Black Panther as a symbol because of its nature. A panther doesn't strike anyone, but when he's assailed upon, he'll back up first. If the aggressor continues, then he'll strike out. Dr. Hugh P. Newton, Minister of Defense, Black Panther Party. That's why they use the Black Panther. So if that question is there, I don't think that question is on the test. But if that question is there, why did they use the Black Panther? Because of its nature. Following the law to the letter, they patrol police carrying their firearms. Yo, we do that here. We don't have firearms. We're not telling you to go not to get firearms, but we police the police here. We like if the police grab somebody, they have them up against the wall. Hey, yo, it is your duty as a panther to pull over to find out if that person is okay. We'll stop. We'll get out of our cars and we'll walk up to the scene. Those who have brought rifles will carry them in the open, clearly visible. Sherman Forte, Black Panther Party. I mean, like, that's what they did. But you don't have to do that. I mean, if the police got somebody, they got somebody by the car, they over there, yo, dude, we pull up. We just pull up and we ask the person in the car, yo, you good? You want us to stay and wait? If the person said, yeah, they wanted to stay and wait, yo, we'll pull the car over and we'll stay and wait and see what the police is doing. If they need any assistance, we did. We would stand at a distance where the police couldn't say we were interfering with the arrest or detention of the individual and make sure there's no brutality. We refer to ourselves as the vanguard, and we were leading by example, a new course that wanted the entire community to follow. Sherman Forte, leading by example. We refer to ourselves as the vanguard, because people were hungry. They were giving them food. They needed to be educated. It was educating them. I'm talking about down to putting up street signs on the streets. They went out there and put up street signs. That's what they were doing, which is what made them the vanguard. And when you enter organizations like this, when you enter the Black Panther Party and you start to work in the community, you are the vanguard. You are the first line of defense for the people. The parties of the pigs chants spread around the country through college campuses and other protest movements. The police must be brought under control by any means necessary, including through force of arms, if need be. These racist Gestapo pigs have to stop brutalizing our communities, or we're going to take up guns and drive them out, Chairman Bobby Sale. Yo, once you've organized a community and you have 3, 4, 5, 6, 800 people, if you got the people in the community, understand that these people don't have to come in here and brutalize us. We don't have to allow them to come in here and do what they're doing. And everybody's standing up for each other. Yo, they can't do what they're doing. They can't. They don't even have enough people. The only problem is we are not organized. Where when they mess with one person, we all did. We all answer the bell. We can't have freedom until capitalism is brought down. We can't be free under the system that oppresses us to begin with. Elaine Brown, Black Panther Party. Can you imagine if they started chatting there now? Just imagine all those people that were sitting there listening to Trump speak last night. All those fake politicians. All those people, like if they heard you saying this, they would call you a terrorist. All those people, all those politicians, every single politician, Democrat, Republican, yo, right now, if they were alive back then, they will kill Malcolm X. They will lock Malcolm X up. They will hunt the Panthers down. And that's something that we must understand because we're different. We're different. We're counterculture. We are different from these people. We don't think like them. We don't have the same philosophy. We don't move like them. Yo, if the pigs are coming in our communities, killing our children, killing us, killing our mothers, our fathers, man, off the pig. That shouldn't be, it shouldn't be a conversation to even have. I mean, our children are special too. They're worth saving. Our lives are special too. It's not only their lives that should have immunity. Our lives have immunity. We can stop the pigs in our community. If we organize our communities, we can stop them from being in our communities. Yo, like, no, just think about it. Where do you think them pigs come from? Them pigs are our children. I know a lot of children that grew up in Newark. I know a lot of families from Newark that raise pigs. Their children are cops now. These are our children that we're allowing outside forces control and use against us. That's deep. The political, ideological line the militant appearance and posture, how they carried themselves in their uniform, all impose a higher standard on revolutionary movements. The media was drawn to the image. Yo, when we have our our uniform, black and white. That's basically our uniform. But the way you move, the way you dress, like the way you show up to an event, everybody coming in there wearing the same thing, not looking all raggedy or crazy. Yo, it speaks volumes. It speaks volumes to how you carry yourself, how you're well groomed. These are all the things that you must, because you're an example that the community must look up to. I mean, so yeah, we got our uniforms. Once you enter the party, you have to get your uniform. And when we go to an event, you got to be dressed in your uniform. There's a standard of aggressiveness, a militance, of forcefulness that is sort of standard we haven't had in the past. Julian Bond, Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. You can't be afraid to speak truth to power. You can't be afraid of these people. You can't be worried if they're gonna keep you out of job opportunities. You can't be worried about none of that. You have to be able to speak truth to power, like if your son or your daughter was standing next to you and you needed them to understand the society that they're living in. That's how you got to deal with these people. You can't be afraid of them. You got to look them right in the eye and tell them exactly how you feel and what you think. Yo, you got superintendents, mayors, governors, all those people. I've been in the same room with them. Yo, I live in the hood. I ain't got a pot to piss in the window to throw it out of. But when I walk in any space, they have to respect me because they know I'm not lying. They know I'm not a fraud. They know I'm not a fake. My character precedes me. The Black Panthers are very unique. I think the Black Panthers really understood the media. They knew what we were after, and they knew what we were focusing on. Some could say the media exploited the Black Panther Party, but you could also say they used us to their advantage. Jim Dunbar, journalist. Hey, a few weeks ago, like 2-3 weeks ago, they running around here. Al Sharpton, the mayor of the city, a couple of politicians came out here and they said they were going to tell people to go shop at Costco because Target, it's not, man, whatever stories they got going on. So they came all the way here and they told people to leave Target, to leave one plantation, to go to another plantation, Costco, as if that is going to change anything in our communities. That's going to give people jobs. It's going to stop people from getting kicked out of their homes. What we should have done if we had the time, I mean, because we had to go somewhere. I think we had to go to New York, or we had something else to do. But when we talking about propaganda, when they're talking about the media, you had all the media stations there. You had CNN, MSNBC, oh yeah, everybody there. Yo, what we do as an organization, because it's all about propaganda, all that stuff, like the media, using the media is to get people out there to hear your message. So we could have went there in our Black Panther uniform. And we could have told the people, we could have had our own mics, had our own speaker, lined up 50, 70, whatever it is of us, line up out there and tell the people, yo, this is not liberation. Going to spend your money at Costco. That gift card, the $5 gift card or $20 gift card they're giving you for you to go in there and go buy like one loaf of bread, that's not changing nothing. If we want to change the conditions in our community, we have to come organize together, work together. We got to come to these meetings. We got to pull our resources together because all of you have jobs. We have to pull our resources and start building institutions in the community to serve us instead of walking into Costco. Yo, that would have been a powerful moment. Because the media was there. We would have took attention from them and we would have focused it on us because the people are looking for that kind of a message. The people are tired of them telling them to go to Costco or to go vote. The people are looking for a message that's different, a message that's militant, that's not cowardice, that's not begging. While the media portrayed more of a macho, masculine vibe for the Black Panther Party, they work diligently to combat sexism and misogyny. Within the Panther organization, they work diligently to get rid of sexism and misogyny, because that's not what this is about. Wherever you go on this planet, there's patriarchy. There's patriarchy, there's sexism, there's racism, wherever you go. People are always quick to say like, yo, why should we go help them people? They don't care about us. There's no Palestinian here fighting for Black people. They're fighting the same people that you're fighting. The Palestinians in Palestine, the people in Rwanda, the people, I'm talking about the people, not the politicians, the people in Rwanda, the people in the Sudan, the people all across the world that's fighting imperialism, they're fighting the same people you're fighting. That's the landlords. That's your Bill Gates. That's your Jeff Bezos. All these oligarchs, that's who they're fighting. That's who's trying to steal their resources. So why wouldn't you want to work with them for you to stand together to be stronger? Because together you're stronger. Women made up the majority of the rank and file membership by the end of the 60s. In our organization, there's quite a few women in our organization. Maybe it's made more women than men. Check out the book Comrade Sisters, Women of the Black Panther Party. They upheld equality and called out misbehavior. Gender roles were largely abolished. In practice, this meant that women had guns and men cooked the children breakfast. Yo, I cooked the food for the after-school program. I cook the food. I work with the kids. I wipe their nose. I bend down and tie their sneakers. I mean, like, whatever is needed. Yo, we not here to... None of that stuff, none of that behavior, that immature, childish, social construct that we have learned from this decadent society, from imperialism, none of that is allowed here. Everybody's treated as a human being. Nobody's more special than the other one. And you have to understand that if you're going to be part of what we're doing here, and you have to live by that. Yo, we know everybody's not perfect. We may all grown up in the system and picked up bad habits on how to look at the other. But coming into an organization like this, trying to uplift the community, the people in the community, you have to be humble enough to unlearn what you have learned. I mean, but all of that speaks volumes to who you are if you're really serious about doing this work. Gun control was direct response from the state of California to the Black Panther Party. The police department had gone to lobby Congress to get a bill written. So Huey called me up and said, we have to go to Sacramento. It was conceived as a big media event. The press was always at the California State Capitol, Bobby Sale. So they're telling you. So the governor was having a press conference. They're doing this thing. They're trying to stop black people from getting guns because the Black Panther Party had guns. So he was like, yo, that's a big event. We should use that event to to get our message out. So they got a couple of Black Panthers and they went out there. We talk about this is Ronald Reagan. This is Ronald Reagan that was out there. So they went out there and they spoke to the media. They took a caravan to Sacramento, about 30 Panthers, not 70, not 100, about 30 Panthers, most of them armed, on the lawn of the Capitol. Governor Reagan was holding a press conference. He was a governor then. The press left Reagan. The press left Reagan alone. Like, we went out there and we had that, like I said, in front of at Costco. Yo, the press would have left Al Sharpton in them, because they have nothing to say. Their message is stale. The press left Reagan to talk to the Panthers. The Black Panther Party for Self-Defense calls upon the American people in general and the Black population in particular to take careful note of the racist California legislature, which is now considering legislation aimed at keeping the black people disarmed and powerless. At the same time, racist police agencies throughout the country are intensifying the terror, brutality, murder, and repression of Black people. Chairman Bobby Seale. When he delivered that message, just imagine back then in the 60s, just imagine in your mind how how confrontational that must have been for those media people to hear all of that. Of course, they ran over there to him. Panthers, after entering the floor of the legislature, retreat to a local gas station. A police officer sees them and radios for backup, and several cruisers show up. A Panther was asked by the media, "Why do you believe the California legislature is racist?" You're a part of it. It's a white system. The propaganda is regular. It's regular. When they don't know how to defeat you, they can buy you off. Like, one of the first things they'll go through is propaganda to try to tarnish your name, to get to have the community, to have the people hating you. So I'm like, we letting you know now. You going through this experience. You're learning this now. Because if it happened to them, like, what makes you think it can't happen to you? They won't do it to you. They are going to do it to you. So when you get in the situation where the mayor is calling you names, is saying, "Oh, yo, all we gonna tell you, yo, calm down, man. This is what they do. They don't have nothing else better to do. There's nothing else they can say about you. All they could do about you is just lie. Don't pay that no mind. That's what the conversation is gonna be. Don't be all hysterical. You don't have to go out there and defend yourself for nobody. We understand what they're doing. But Elaine Brown is gonna tell you how they use the media, to try to tarnish the legacy of the Black Panther Party, how they use the movies. Elaine Brown is an original Black Panther Party leader. But I'm gonna let her speak for herself.
There's no place to be right now but in it.
But Fry the pig,
If they
Dr. King
is dead.
There's no one in the Black Panther Party who would have spoken to the chairman of the party that way, period. So that's number one. My name is Elaine Brown. I am a former leader of the Black Panther Party in the years 1974 to 1977. I've been asked to take a look at some Hollywood films where the Black Panther Party is depicted and to give my thoughts and a review of those films.
That blonde man and get your white ass away from that window. Don't you know we in a war here?
Hey man, he's cool. He's cool. He's one of us.
Let me tell you about what the hell.
Everybody in America loves Forrest Gump. And so the shame of it is that this one encounter that Forrest Gump has is with this insane cult group of people that doesn't like white people. Well, of course, it was a caricature and it was certainly demeaning, not to count inaccurate. Well, nobody walked around wearing that stuff. Every once in a while, we'd have those rallies in the early days where people would wear, the black leather, and that was our sort of uniform, but nobody would be walking around the office with that clothing on.
The Black Panthers are against the war in Vietnam. Yes, we are against any war where black soldiers are sent to the front line to die for a country that hates them.
The Vietnam War was launched in 1965 by Lyndon Johnson. The party itself started in 1966. We were the only black organization that was actually a part of the anti-war movement. But then in my particular case in 1970, I visited Hanoi and other places and did a radio interview with a figure called Hanoi Hannah. And we urged our black brothers to throw down their weapons and come home.
Sorry, I had a fight in the middle of your Black Panther Party.
So to make light of it, to make a joke out of us, then we become a caricature and a joke. There's nothing you can say about it that's good at all as to what was the Black Panther Party in any depiction of it. And if you were to rank it, which, is just so typically American Western thinking that everything has to be ranked. But if you were to rank it, I don't think it's on the chart. It would be below one.
There's no place to be right now but in it.
But Fry the pig,
If they
Dr. King
is dead.
Bobby was very dynamic. Bobby still was the chairman and co-founder of the Black Panther Party. But I can tell you this, there's no one in the Black Panther Party who would have spoken to the chairman of the party that way, period. So that's number one. But I can't imagine anybody, any sister or brother telling the chairman of the Black Panther Party what to do or not do.
I said it would be impossible for me to care any less what you are tired of, and I demand to cross-examine the witness.
And the fact that he would have spoken out in this style, it would have been absolutely true. There's no way you would have told Bobby not to speak up in the courtroom because that was almost the style of the Black Panther Party, and not for arbitrary reasons. Don't be afraid to speak. Don't be afraid to not follow their rules and so forth.
I'm tired of commercials, but no, but exactly what she was saying. That was the Black Panther Party. You stand in front. Yo, I've seen people, the toughest people in the hood, the biggest gangsters, they get in front of the judge, they start stuttering. You're stuttering for. There's no need to stutter. But that person standing up there's a criminal. That justice system is not valid. If you have money, you could walk out the door. You could buy the judge. You could buy everybody. You could buy the politicians. Yo, this is a lawless society. Yo, he just up there to make money. There's no need to walk up in there and have any respect for these people. Yo, when you go to court, right, they come up there, the judges like give a whole speech before they even start the court. Like, you did to pay a ticket. They done give you a ticket. They done came and towed your car illegally, gave you a ticket. Now you got to go to court. They give you the summons. You go in there, and the judge is trying to act all sweet, like he really care about people. Like, yo, I'm going to make sure you get a lawyer. Make sure you're going to give them the dumbest lawyer that you could possibly give them so they could come up there and pay that fine. All the judges are there to do is just collect the money from the people. That's all their job is. They're there to collect the money. They may let like one or two go, but they done collected thousands already that day. This is really where media and political demonization of the Black Panther Party kicks off. Yet many people drove clear across the country to join the ranks of the BPP. Civil rights was a kind of Southern movement. Having this kind of organization talking about housing, welfare, and health, that was the stuff people in the North could relate to. Yo, who's not dealing with gentrification? Who's not having a hard time finding a place to stay? Who's not having a hard time buying eggs, bro? I mean, like, who's not having a hard time buying gas? Like, one job out here is not enough to survive. You need 2-3 incomes out here to be able to survive, to have a place to stay. Who's not going through that? If you deal with the people and you meet the people where they at, they're gonna understand. They're gonna see that you mean well. You're not in there trying to steal from them. You're not trying to take their money from them. You're not trying to fleece them, bamboozle, hoodwink them. People are gonna see it. When they see you've been working with their children for years. You got food that you've been giving out food, making sure people are not starving. You going to court with people, helping them get in their homes. Like, the people see that. Once they see that, they're gonna flock to it. Like, look what they said. Even though they did all of that, people came across country to join the BPP. See, but we're not doing it like that no more. You got to go through these classes. You're not just walking up to go join anything. We're not doing it like that, because that's how you get infiltrated. Yo, everybody that's part of the party now, from the children to the adults, we know everybody. Everybody know everybody. I mean, you're not just coming in to come try to do whatever slick thing ideas you have. That's not in there for you. Everybody that's part of this, we've known each other for years, went through these classes and understand why they're here. There was no screening of new members. I mean, look, there was no screening of new members. Yo, we got to learn from the mistakes they made. I mean, like, today I was talking to my brother today, and he was like, how do you know, like, all the snakes? I mean, you can't stop that. No matter what you do, you can't stop that. The only thing that you could do is try to put a process in where you could control it. But there's always going to be a snake lurking in the grass. That's why you got to keep the grass cut, by having the political education classes. There was no screening of new members, no vetting process, and open membership. This led to too much growth too fast and led to issues within the party. You know how many people I meet on the streets that be like, yo, what's up, man? I want to join the Black Panther Party. I'll be telling you, you got to go through this 13 weeks right here. You got to take this test. I mean, like, it don't matter if you my brother, if you my cousin, it don't matter who it don't matter if you my wife, you my daughter, you my son. You got to go through the process. You got to know why we doing what we doing. And then, like, so the police grab you and they go lock you up. You ready to tell on anybody. Instead of just shutting up. Just shut the F up. We going to come get you. They can't keep you for that long. You didn't do nothing. It's easy to judge by today's lens of activists, seeing decades of infiltration, fed, pushed, infighting, informants, and a whole slew of other issues. In the late 1960s, Kathleen Cleaver was already concerned. We would send members of the organization to help connect people to us, but it was destabilizing in the sense that it was somewhat chaotic, the way the party was growing. It was too fast and too big. Kathleen Cleaver, Black Panther Party. Edris Cleaver wrote Soul on Ice after collecting and publishing the essays he wrote in prison. Cleaver ends up joining the Black Panther Party and becomes the Minister of Information. Cleaver made the party credible to Black intellectuals, to white left intellectuals. They all loved Edris Cleaver. Claiborne Carson, historian. No, he made it palatable to those people. But, like, real talk, we're not forcing our way to go to those people to try to make them think what we're doing is something for them. Like, this ain't about that. Yo, we understand we're in a class war. I told you, we learn from the past. I mean, we don't need to bring in nobody. What's his name? What's homeboy name, man? The black dude, man. he got fired from CNN patients. Black dude, tall dude. I think he work at Temple.
Is that Don Lemon?
Nah,
Yeah.
not Don Lemon. He work at Temple, man. I don't forgot his name. Now he got fired for talking about Palestine on CNN and stuff.
Medi. I don't know. Oh, he said Mark Lamont Hill. Karen said Karina. I'm sorry.
Who say Mark Lamont Hill?
Karina, you can unmute. I think I'm pronouncing your name wrong. Can you please say your name? Karina, are you there? But that was her. She said Mark Lamont Hill.
Yeah. So like, just imagine we go get Mark Lamont Hill and we tell him like, yo, he with the Panther Party because he has access to middle class people, to this middle managerial people. Yo, that has nothing to do with what we're doing here. We're not looking for middle management people. We're looking for people that can hold up to this philosophy, to what we're doing here. If you go reach out to those people in middle management, the professional managerial class, yo, all they're worried about is voting, is keeping their jobs. They're not willing to commit class suicides to come work for the people or work with the people. So what is a Mark Lamont Hill going to do over here? There's nothing he could do over here. He's a liberal. They like to call themselves revolutionaries, all this professional managerial Negroes that's been working for white supremacy their entire life. They like to call themselves activists, revolutionaries. They're on the front lines when they do nothing. We don't need nobody to come make us palatable to people that are in middle class or rich people. Yo, all we need is us. All we need is us. If anybody in that class is interested in joining the work that we're doing, they could come join. But we don't need to go try to get those people, because look how it turned out for them. All those people that they went to go get with FBI agents, CIA agents. Eldridge had this incredible ability to encapsulate a thought in a few sentences and form it into an artistic statement that stabbed right into the heart of the enemy. And he did that all the time. Felipe Luciano, Young Lords. Yo, man, this ain't about statements. You could be the most elegant speaking person, man, it won't work because it has nothing to do about you being able to speak. That's not why people are going through gentrification, because people don't know how to speak. We don't have nobody that know how to speak well enough to talk about gentrification. That's not why people catching hell. People catching hell because that's how imperialism works. They must cannibalize on the people for them to be able to be rich, for them to be able not to work like we work. That's how it has nothing to do about how well you can speak. Eldridge had an uncontrollable personality. He made issues for the party over time. Huey P. Newton was charged for the murder of a cop. Everyone stayed up all night to get into the hospital to see him handcuffed to a gurney. He was informed he was facing the death penalty. Several other Panthers were already in jail from their protests at the California State Capitol in Sacramento. Eldridge was the only available spokesperson for the party. The Black Panther Party, this is a statement. The Black Panther Party demands that Huey P. Newton be set free. If he's not set free, what you going to do? We wish to make it very clear that if he is not set free, there is little hope of avoiding armed open war in the streets of California, sweeping across the nation. Eldridge Cleaver. You can't, obviously, you're not going to have open war with these people. You don't have enough guns. You don't have none of that. This is just adventurism speaking. I mean, I told you, we learn from the past. We don't repeat the same mistake. We don't need to do none of that. You don't need to go to them with guns to go do anything. Once you organize the people and the people walk away from them, their institutions fall and die. COINTELPRO served the purpose of neutralizing Black nationalist hate groups. Where is this approach with fascist white nationalist groups? It really don't matter. We don't care what they're doing with that. I mean, we don't care about what they're doing with this, with that. Nah, we already understand racism is cooked in. Racism is part of this. Through these methods, expose, disrupt, misdirect, discredit. They intended to neutralize these groups through arrest, informants, murder. Hoover sent letters almost weekly to dozens of cities for new ideas to neutralize the Black Panther Party. 245 out of 290 COINTELPRO actions were against the Black Panther Party specifically. So the whole entire COINTEL program, you see it right here. That might be one of the questions. 245 out of 290 COINTELPRO actions, because I know most of you have heard of COINTELPRO. Those actions, 245 of them out of 290 was targeted the Black Panther Party. You don't see the NAACP up here. You don't see the Urban League up here. You don't see any of these bootleg, fake Uncle Tom organizations up here that the FBI COINTELPRO is looking at. Because all those organizations help imperialism, help the government to oppress the people. We were followed, harassed, our phones were tapped, and our families were harassed, Erica Huggins. And FBI memo states we must create suspicion with respect to their respective spouses, even your spouses. Your imagination and resourcefulness must be employed in order for the Bureau to be successful. One mandate made very clear was do not make the program public. Yeah, we just find out about the COINTELPRO, like later on. After all these people died, that's when they started bringing all this information out. The FBI, the government releasing it. Don't talk about it. And FBI memo states that the objectives of the counterintelligence operations were prevent the rise of a Black Messiah who could unify the movement and garner public support, prevent growth of the movement to the youth, keep militant Black groups isolated, preventing them from gaining support in the Black community or gaining respectability. So when we giving out the food in the community, like, see, when you become part of the party, after you do all of this, you understand why we go out in the community and we deliver the food to people's homes. We bring the food to their front step. Yeah, because read what the FBI don't want us to do, don't want the community to know about us. So how do you defeat that? So the FBI, they in DC, they wherever, their main station is wherever they at. And we're with the people. These are your neighbors. These are your friends. These are the people you went to school with, that you grew up with. Yo, how the FBI gonna be able to stop them from knowing you? That don't even make no sense. So since we are in the community with the people, we go serve the people. Yo, we got an after-school program. Yo, the kids come to the after-school program. What they say right here? Prevent the rise of a Black Messiah who could unify the movement and garner public support. Prevent growth of the movement to the youth. Yo, our after-school program, we're working with kids from kindergarten all the way up to high school. We got college kids that come in there to work with the kids. You ain't preventing nothing because the people are us. We are the people. So if you understand this is what they're trying to do to you, you find ways and strategies to be able to get to the people because you're right there with the people. Hoover was concerned with the rise of a Black Messiah. He saw Fred Hampton as filling that role. William O'Neill became an informant in June 1969. At a rally on December 3rd, Chairman Fred predicted his coming death. Howard Safford of the Chicago PD said this was a political assassination. Yeah, we know it now that it was a political assassination. And the police, the FBI, they killed him. They killed Fred Hampton. The United States government killed Fred Hampton. Eldridge Cleaver started calling the Black Panther Party weak and reformist, denouncing the party and its administrators. We just couldn't get excited about survival. Kathleen Cleaver. Newton kicks the Panther 21 out of the party following an open letter criticizing him and demanding transparency in donated funds. Eldridge Cleaver, on the other hand, supported and defended the Panther 21 effectively. There was a split in the party. Hey, yo, like you said, you learn from the past. You learn from the past. Hey, yo, like one person doesn't handle the money that when we having a party. One person don't handle the money. They don't handle the account. They don't do none of that. No, all of this is not a scam. What's his name? Jay Morrison. We tell you to bring your money in our name, my name. You see African name on everything. No, this is the Black Panther Party. New African Black Panther Party. Yo, we elect somebody that's gonna be doing the banking, that's gonna be in charge of our dudes, that's in charge of the money. We as an organization elect that person. They don't have money where they're gonna be able to buy people, do all kind of advertisement. No, the people in the party say like, yo, this is what we think should because they have the credentials. Because like everybody here is not like stupid. We have professional people that went to college. I myself went to college. I have 3 degrees. We have an accounting part of this. We have college students that are in college right now that are part of this. So you're not just picking we're not picking no stunt dummy to come out and give them our money. Then when we come to the meeting, like what happened to the money? They done straight got high. They done left or something, went somewhere else. Now that ain't what we doing here. And one person, like I said, I'm the chairman of the party. Yo, I'm not gonna have access to everything and nobody have access to nothing. And they're asking me questions. Yo, if at our meetings, whoever is in charge of the money, they give a report on the money. How much came in, how much went out, blah, 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 blah. That is separate. It has to be bureaucratic. An FBI memo stated the Black Panther Party has split into two factions, namely the Cleaver and Newton supporters. This dissension offers an exceptional opportunity to aggravate and possibly neutralize through counterintelligence. As you get into this, as you get more into Pantherism and understand our philosophy, because after you graduate from the class, there's more studying that you have to do. And you find out about contradictions. Nothing can come in and penetrate and destabilize our movement if we're strong within, inside. If we good, nothing from the outside can penetrate through. Nothing. That's why we need to go to this political education. That's why we need to know each other. We need to know why we're doing this. That's why everything got to be on the up and up. Nothing that we doing here, we hiding. Nothing here is a secret. What are we doing here? We're organizing because they're kicking us out of our homes. We're going to pool our resources together and we're going to start to buy institutions in the community to take care of us. Nothing that we doing is some fake stuff that we got to hide. We're not doing no secret squirrel stuff here. This is above board. The FBI was picking at Huey and Eldridge to sow distrust. We thought the FBI wanted to kill us, shoot us, blow up our offices. I don't think we realized how insidious their plan was, Kathleen Cleaver. The split erupted across the media. Jim Dunbar AM. Then Jim Dunbar had booked Huey on his show and set up a phone call with Eldridge Cleaver from Algeria. Huey had hoped to show that Eldridge and himself were on the same page. Eldridge sabotaged that, criticizing David Hilliard, chief of staff of the Panthers, and the party falling apart at the seams. Huey was livid and called Eldridge back, expelling intercommunal section. Eldridge's supporters left the party and went underground. This kicked off a purge in the party. Like, that don't even sound like, you see, they're talking about Eldridge's supporters, this person's supporters. There's nobody here that's an Africa supporter. We don't, like, you're not here to support Africa. You're here to support the Black Panther Party, and it's on philosophy. It's philosophy on how we liberate our community. That's what you're here for. Some didn't know how to follow. Some were frustrated and left. In some cases, did I read that right? Some didn't know how to, yeah, I did read it right. Some didn't know how to follow. Some were frustrated and left. In some cases, the split erupted into violence between Panthers. This was the goal of the FBI. We've been pitting people against each other. That's all worked out really well. But now we don't have to worry about it anymore. They're going to keep it going on their own, J. Edgar Hoover stated. In light of all of this, the Panthers go in an entirely different direction, electoral politics. But if you study Marx, if you study Leninism, Maoism, like if you're a Maoist, none of that, none of this studying tells you entering the imperialist elections or voting in imperialist elections is going to lead to liberation. I told you, you take the good and you leave the bad. No amount of voting in rigged elections or political. Let's have this conversation now, because people don't understand what politics is. Politics is the struggle for resources, period. If you go the Democratic Party, that's not politics. The Republican Party, that's not politics. The Green Party, that's not politics. The electoral process, that's not politics. Politics is the struggle for resources. Everything that I just named, the Democrats, the Republican, the electoral process, these are all social constructs social constructs designed by those who control the society to give the illusion of inclusiveness into their politics. Them having all the resources and us having nothing. I don't know if that's clear enough, but voting, marching, joining one of these fake parties, the Democrat or Republican, the Green Party, doing any of those things, that don't mean you're participating in politics. You're just part of their social construct. That's all you're doing. If you want to participate in politics, you have to create a system outside of their system that rivals their system and takes resources from them. So if we organize our communities and we start to buy up the resources in our communities as board members, all of us together, buying up the property, you're taking the property away from the landlords. You're taking it away from the oligarchs. You're taking their profit away. It is not coming to you. You're fighting for the resources. So now they're not coming to gentrify your home, kick you and your family out, because you own that resource. The Black Panther Party, our organization, we own it. We not kicking each other out. We not like if we have a business. We in our community, and let's say we get a mechanic shop, and everybody in the community, because we organize the community, everybody in the community comes to our mechanic shop. Or we have our own superstore like a Home Depot in the community that we've got to serve us, the people in the community. That's us taking power from them. That's resources. The ability to employ ourselves, to take care of ourselves, that's what you're fighting for. But going to them, asking them to pay you more money, having strikes, trying to go to a job, to go organize people at the job, to go fight back against the plantation owner. You know what's going to happen to you? The other people at your job going to snitch on you and you're going to get fired. Try to go organize those people. It don't work like that. The biggest horse on this planet are at your job. You see, that's why I don't understand why people keep talking about the unions is how people going to liberate themselves. The unions already been bought off. We're in 2025. You have to think of a whole different paradigm. Whoever is here thinking they're going to go to work, to go organize them people, to go fight imperialism, you're going to soon get fired. And when you get fired, come tell us about it. I'm like, I told you so. Bobby ends up in a runoff election versus conservative incumbent mayor John Reading. The Panthers' goal was to increase the Black voter turnout in Oakland through registration drives, door-to-door canvassing, visiting churches, dope houses, and taking to the streets. To go win what? To go win an election to be part of imperialism. Bobby would take buses and speak directly to the people. Bobby made a promise that he'll give away 10,000 bags of groceries with a chicken in every bag. They did 6,682 bags and got between 20,000 and 50,000 voters registered. In the end, incumbent John Reading was reelected in the runoff election because it's their scheme. The deck is set already.
All that chicken.
If we give our chicken for free, you ain't got to go vote for us. I mean, they gave out all that chicken, like chicken, all of that for nothing. There wasn't a plan B. Once the campaign was lost, there was a kind of a void. Flores Forbes, Black Panther Party. Other Panthers nationally kind of ceased to operate. They had depleted their personnel and resources for their electoral campaigns. Weirdos, Weirdos. To go run, I don't know what part of Marxism, I don't know what part of philosophy that was to go into electoral politics. I don't even understand that. It makes no sense at all. But it makes sense when you understand, people really be in this for themselves. They don't really genuinely be in it for the people. There was ramped up police harassment of Panthers that followed Chairman Fred's death. A no-knock SWAT raid was held against the Black Panther Party office in Los Angeles, and gunfight ensued that lasted over 4 hours. At least 3 officers were down over the course of the firefight. Media showed up and police pushed them back. Pinned down and running out of ammo, the Panthers finally surrendered. After a quite lengthy and publicized trial, Huey P. Newton was finally set free. He focused on returning the Black Panther Party to the survival programs by saying they are, at best, survival programs. We know that the people are in jeopardy of genocide, and if they don't survive, then it won't be possible to bring about revolution. Huey P. Newton. Like, how you gonna bring about anything if the people are dead? If the people are starving, how you gonna have any revolution? David Healy was the chief of staff of the Black Panther Party, and he kept the shop running while Huey, Bobby, and Eldridge were all unable to. In 1968, Richard Nixon is elected. He sets a mandate which is to crack down. He feels it is his personal charge after the 1968 election to repress dissidents. Nixon and J. Edgar Hoover's FBI worked together even more than the previous administration. Hoover declares the Black Panther Party is the greatest internal threat to the nation. Given all of this, local police department felt emboldened to take the gloves off when dealing with the Panthers. Ron McCarthy of the LAPD said, as far as we are concerned, the Panthers were a criminal organization and they wanted to kill cops. That's all I needed to hear. Gun purchases were set up through informants. Knowing there were guns, cops went in often, shooting first. Raids took place at BPP offices and locations across the country. It was obvious the government had made a decision that it was all-out attack on the Black Panther Party, Kathleen Cleaver. The party didn't have the resources to deal with all the ongoing arrests and court trials. They began taking donations for Panther defense funds. The Panthers started forging alliances with international liberation movements, including North Korea, Vietnam, China, many African liberation movements. Like I told you, you have to organize with people all around the country. You can't just be in a soapbox and act like you're the only person or people going through this issue when people around the world are dealing with the same issues that we're dealing with. They're dealing with this imperialists. 21 New York Panthers were charged with conspiracy and terrorism charges. They were facing 360 plus years in prison. Students for a Democratic Society, SDS, called for fair, impartial trials. Big fundraisers were launched, some with stars such as Jane Fonda. In the end, the jury deliberated for less than 4 hours, and the Panther 21 were found not guilty on 156 counts. Trials were happening across the country and were consuming most of the party's energy and resources. People were afraid to join the party, fearing infiltration or personal safety. That's what they want. That's what the FBI, the CIA, they wanted to seem like a joke, to make it a joke so people don't join. Join what? Join to understand that you need to pull your resources together to work for yourself, to liberate yourself. That's what they're trying to stop. There's no drug dealing. There's nobody getting hurt. There's none of that. There's no terrorism. They're stopping people from coming together to work together because they know that's the only way they will ever be defeated. That's the only way. Bobby Seale spoke at the 1968 Democratic National Convention in Chicago. Yeah, with that electoral politic-ish. He went and spoke at the convention in Chicago and was later charged with conspiracy to riot with 7 other individuals known as the Chicago 8. I wouldn't have even been there. There's no need to even go into their spaces. You need to create your own vote. You need to create your own Panther National Convention. That's what they should have been doing. Create your own Panther National Convention where you having our own national convention. We're electing our own people. What are you trying to go sit in their government for? I need somebody to explain that to me. What is the point of trying to go sit in the enemy's government? What are you trying to accomplish? Only if you're trying to serve yourself. The judge refused to postpone the trial so Bobby's lawyer could come to Chicago to represent him. So he demanded his constitutional right to represent himself. And you saw how they gagged him and they had him all tied up. The judge continued to silence him up to the point of being beaten, bound, and gagged. That's what you was watching in that movie when he was talking back to the judge and the judge they had him gagged. In an open courtroom outside, there were protesters supporting the Chicago 8, including Deputy Fred Hampton. I just want to tell you that the chairman of the Black Panther Party is going to be ungagged, and they're going to take them chains off him. Bobby Seale is going through all sorts of physical and mental torture right now. You can jail a revolutionary, but you can't jail the revolution. Fred Hampton, deputy chairman of the Illinois Black Panther Party. Nah, like, this is what they went through. You saw them gag them in that video. So, like, there's no excuse once you enter this life and all you're doing is out there feeding people, and they come grab you. Because once we get big enough, once we are a threat, where they're saying that, like, the slum laws don't own our buildings no more, they're going to come after us. You got to understand that. That's why they say for everybody. That's why you the vanguard, because you understand all of this. I mean, they're going to come after you. When they come after you, they grab you, shut the F up. As soon as we find out where you at, we're going to come get you. Shut up. We're going to have our own lawyers. We're going to be okay. You don't have to say nothing to them. The effect of the death of Martin Luther King for Black Panther Party was overwhelming in the sense that once King was assassinated and the way he was publicly assassinated, it shattered many, many people. It killed the last chance for me to be peaceful with them. They killed our last chance of Negro negotiation. I don't know why you still negotiate with them. They killed a man who walked through hell to try to get along with you, and you kill him. Kathleen Cleaver, that's what she said. But like I said, you read the Black Jacobins, man. If you haven't read the Black Jacobins, you should try to read it. I'm telling you, there's a part in there where he said there's nothing, no deal these people have ever made that they will ever keep. There's no need to negotiate with these people anymore. None. The only thing we should be doing is finding out how to build our own institutions that serve us. That's it. Eldridge Cleaver felt if they didn't act, they would no longer be the vanguard. See, like, if you don't act, you won't be. That's reactionary. The vanguard is because of the work that you do in the community. Many refused to participate, but little Bobby Hutton followed Eldridge. Bobby Hutton was shot and killed during a routine investigation of suspicious person. They had retreated to a basement, and a tear gas canister had lit the place on fire. Trying to surrender at age 17, Bobby Hutton became the first Panther to be killed by the police. At Bobby's funeral, shot down like a common animal, he died a warrior for Black liberation in the name of brotherhood and survival. Remember Bobby, Kathleen Cleaver. After Bobby Hutton's murder, Eldridge Cleaver was ordered to surrender himself to San Francisco Police Department to go back to prison. On November 28, 1968, he didn't turn himself in and was nowhere to be found. He had fled to Algeria. Eldridge focused on opening international chapters of the Black Panther Party. The Panthers were welcomed by liberation movement. The North Vietnamese were moving into a new embassy building and gave their old one to the Panthers. Review time. What is the concept of vanguardism in the context of Leninist revolutionary struggle? That's number one. What are the two reasons for the existence of a vanguard party? What are the two reasons for the existence of the vanguard party? We went over that. Why did the Black Panther Party use the symbol of the panther? See, I told you. How did the Black Panthers patrol the police and ensure there was no brutality? We went over that. What was the response of the state of California to the Black Panther Party's gun-carrying patrols? These are the questions from this part right here that are going to be on the test. Like this, none of this is tricky. Ain't nobody trying to trick nobody. I mean, we need you to understand this so we could do what we got to do. Why did the Black Panther Party organize a caravan to Sacramento, and what message did they deliver there? We talked about that, the propaganda. What were some of the survival program initiated by, breakfast program? What were the objectives of the COINTELPRO in relation to the Black Panther Party? Hint, hint, Messiah. How did the media portray the Black Panther Party, and what were the party's efforts to combat sexism and misogyny? See, all the same things we talked about. Nothing here to trick you. But that Forrest Gump movie, I didn't even like when I was younger and I watched Forrest Gump. I remember how they had the Black Panther like they were a cartoon, and like they just hated white people. It's crazy. how they try to like they make the Black Panther Party seem like the KKK. Like they just all we care about is serving the people in our community because we understand the government's not going to do it. But that, like, they go through all of this to try to make the Black Panther seem like they're something they're not. How did the assassination of Martin Luther King Jr. affect the Black Panther Party and its perception of nonviolence? They killed their last chance of negotiation. I mean, it's like none of this is hard. None of this is trying to trick you. But we done for this week. If anybody got any questions, it's 9 o'clock, so that's an hour and a half. Anybody got any questions, we can chop it up. Or we done. I mean, but who's here? Captain Patience, you here?
Yes, I am. Karina.
You're not Captain Patience.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Here.
Yeah. Your people's here?
No, they're not here.
Yeah, see the set trip, and I about to give them a shout out. You feel me? Karina, you still there?
She's at work, but she says great.
Oh yeah, tell her. I said, thank you for that, Mark Lamont Hill. Y'all word up. I couldn't think of his name. I don't like them dudes, man. I don't like them dudes. Like,
but I'm gonna tell you who's here. I want to thank everyone for coming. Karina, House. Hey, House.
Where House at?
He's there. Say hi, House.
I see House. What's up, House?
We got iPhone. We got Justin. Thank you, Justin, for joining us. Hey, Justin.
I think he in the gym. He said he working out in the gym.
Oh, okay. Miguel and we got Miguel and Miguel's Phantom Note Taker.
Yeah, which one is that? They're the same person or not?
I don't know. We got Miguel Rodriguez and Miguel's Phantom Note Taker. You guys can say hi if you want. Oh, hey, Miguel Rodriguez.
Yo, who you, Miguel?
I'm Poppy friend.
You y'all shared a room together, right?
Yeah.
Yo, it took you 2 years to get here, bro.
Yeah, I know about it. I know too much before, man, but now I know. I'm educated, trying to educate myself.
Oh, Paul, did you graduate yet?
I'm about to this semester.
That's what's up, yo. What you graduating with?
Market and finance.
Yo, we need to market and finance something over here.
You see, that's what I'm here for.
Word up, yo. Yo, we gotta find how to gonna work this out, man. But I'm gonna tap in with you later during the week. You heard?
No doubt, no doubt.
Yo, to everybody else, yo, thank you for coming. Yo, see you next week, Wednesday. All power to the people.